So, ladies and gentlemen, fanboys and girls, nerds, weeds, and otaku, welcome back and welcome home.
Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite WrittenWrit Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, the WrittenWrit show, where you and I and you get creative, have fun, and geek out. Folks, it is always a pleasure seeing all your beautiful faces. It's going to be a great show tonight. We're getting ready to go to Eternal Con this weekend. Frank will be tabling. Francis will be tabling. Paul will be not there, but Professor will be there.
Professor C.T. Haugens will be in the house.
And if you guys are nice, maybe you'll see a little shadow rabbit shadowing around. Yeah, I was talking to him earlier, and he might make a surprise appearance.
Cool.
Wait, we're not supposed to say that.
Say what? We don't know what you're talking about.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Exactly. Don't pay attention to the shadows.
It's really Houdini reincarnated.
Oh man,
I can't tell you, man. I had that Kaizen statue on my table, and all the kids were coming saying, "This is the coolest thing ever."
Dude, he did a great job.
It was awesome.
Oh my god,
it was awesome.
Whew. Also, just to let you guys know, Herman from It's Getting Dicey is not feeling well. I hope you feel better, buddy. Hopefully you guys will be there Saturday, because It's Getting Dicey will be there Saturday. And folks, if you're looking for some beautiful D&D stuff, It's Getting Dicey is the place to go. These guys scour the whole earth looking for the best D&D stuff, and they bring it to you. And you guys have to check out their stuff. And of course, they're going to be there this weekend at Eternal Con. So look, we already got people talking. Hey! And of course, Jesse, if he cannot make it, so I want to make sure to remind you guys to go sign up to get notified at his Kickstarter. Because it is a beautiful work of art. And, great story. You like video games, this thing is right up your alley. You like anime, this thing's right up your alley. He puts all this beautiful stuff together. So go sign up to get notified. And again, folks, I remind you that signing up to get notified really helps out the creator on Kickstarter, because the more people following, the better place in the algorithm they start when the whole thing starts. They can even start with the project we love, because I've seen it happen. There we go.
Well, speaking from personal bias, I backed Jesse's first Ashes of Eden, and the book is awesome. So I anticipate number 2 to be even better. So if you get on Kickstarter, please support Jesse. It's an awesome, awesome book he's putting together.
And folks, he's like upping the ante. Look at this cover. Don't you love it? Doesn't it remind you of the 90s?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And you can sit there and do that over and over and over, because that's what I used to do myself.
When it goes to red, it reminds me of Virtual Boy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Yeah, the art on this is fantastic, folks. You're really getting it. You get it on the cover, you get it in the book. It's just a beautiful book. The colors are amazing, and things are happening, folks. As you can tell from this ominous little page right here, things are happening. So go check it out. It's Ashes of Eden's 1 and 2. Jesse Judy, and he is doing a fantastic job getting you these books. And breaking news, he will be at Anitomo next weekend, July 19th, in Industry City. So you guys can go meet him in person and get the book, the first book at least from him in person.
Not to twist arms, but I twisted Eileen's arm, and Time Enforcers will be there in force as well.
All right, so now we got Time Enforcers and Jesse Judy both there at Anitomo, having fun, hanging out. Dude, this is a great event. And
I don't know if I'll make it to 10 o'clock, though. That's a long day.
And it's free. I got to say, the Industry City events are always amazing because they last longer, but they start later as well, which is fantastic for somebody who wants to get some sleep in on a weekend.
Yep. Looking forward to it. Should be a blast.
And folks, remember, it's free. It's in Industry City, easy to get to in Brooklyn. So go check it out. You guys want to see this. It's an amazing event. Anime, Japanese. It's just a lot of beautiful things in one place. Woo! Okay. That was a lot of stuff to say, but they weren't here, so we had to say it. Okay. Francis, what have you been up to?
Just, chugging along on my comic strip, Suburban Fairy Tales. I'm thinking about adding a Sunday edition.
Ooh.
So a Sunday format. So all the strips are done in dailies. So that's, usually 3 or 4 panels. But I was thinking about doing a larger Sunday edition. I'm talking to my editor literally just yesterday. I sent her an email about that as an option. So I don't really have anything to say about it yet. Just it's a thought, and if it does launch, I'm thinking probably 3 or 4 months from now.
So I know the usual one is the 3 little boxes.
Yes.
And that's how you tell your story. So if you're doing the Sunday format, right?
Mhm.
How much bigger does it get?
It's basically, I would say, like 2 daily strips on top of each other. So it would probably be, instead of 3 panels, 6 panels. But I want to be able to have some creativity with it. So maybe I'll have like 1 small little panel and then 1 giant panel, or there'll be overlap. So it'll look more like a comic book.
Oh,
Like you can be more creative with the panel layout than you can with a regular daily strip.
that's true.
Yeah, so it's just, I want to have something that's a little more creative, and I'm also hoping that those can be available for sale for newspapers to run. At least that's my plan.
I like it, love it. It kind of reminds me of when Spidey was in the newspaper still, and you would get that Sunday edition, and it was like getting a page of Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's what I was looking forward to as a kid. Prince Valiant, Spider-Man, Dick Tracy.
Oh.
It's like, you get a little blurb during the week, but hell, that's what I was looking forward to Sunday.
Yeah, and those were beautiful, like pieces, like works of art in when you look at them in the paper. So taking up like almost a full page, some of them half a page. The Calvin and Hobbes, the later years, like so beautiful. Those Sunday editions, so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Love Calvin and Hobbes. I got the big books. As soon as they put those out, I bought those. I've had them since they came out. Because I love the strips. It was something I always look forward to. It's kind of sad when he stopped, but I guess sooner or later you either die or you stop.
Yeah.
So what do you think? You're gonna keep doing this till you die, or?
Yeah, hopefully for many decades into the future. I really do. I love working on the series. I'm actually this September celebrating 20 years since I started Suburban Fairy Tales. Believe it or not, it's crazy to think about.
I believe it, because we met you before we even started Bitten Apple.
Yeah. It was so. I was like, I want to do a webcomic. I kind of threw it up online. It was on there was this site called Comic Sherpa available right around the time that I launched, and it was really for like up and coming, like web comics who want, before social media. So you're talking about 2005, before social media, where you could get your comic in front of more eyeballs. So you had to pay to go on the site, but it was a way that other editors could maybe look at your comic, maybe give you a chance to get more readers, more viewers, and that I was hoping that would translate to sales. It didn't early on, but later on it all worked out.
Isn't that the case though? Especially when you're building an audience, especially with comics and stuff like that, because you need to build that audience in order for them to like want to come back and check it out, and then maybe buy the book later on. Once they've like, oh yeah, I've been following this guy for a while.
Yeah, it's funny because you'll go to. I'm not saying this is everybody, but some people at Comic-Con will say, "Oh, what's your comic about? Tell me what my comic's about. Is it available online?" Yeah, you can read it online, but I have the books right here that I can sign for you, and it has exclusive content that's not available online. Oh, I'll just read it online.
That is so. It's how things are now though, because I would rather have the book in my hand or the paper in my hand, which is why I love the fact that that people like oh my god, people are still doing comics. And then I like to run into them in the cons and see that they're still doing it, and they're making the little books. We would get the Garfield books. You have books like that as well.
I do. I have tons of Garfield books. You mentioned Calvin and Hobbes. I have the hardcover, like the 3-book set.
That's the whole collection.
But yeah, I've got all of them. I've got Zitz collections. I've got Beetle Bailey. I just bought one. It was the life of Mort Walker, the art and life of Mort Walker. Right. Bill Janocha wrote the book. Bought it directly from him too. I'm supporting other authors, and Bill worked on Beetle Bailey as an assistant for many years. I think since the 80s until recently.
It looks like you got a fan. It's like, Fairy Tales is awesome. Buy the book.
Thank you. Can you be my salesperson?
Shh, we don't know that. I gotta say, it's so much fun. Like one of the ones I love, and I think I know him because of he put his stuff online, which is Simon's Cat. Amazing, funny. It's just great. Especially his little animated features. Have you considered doing little animated features yourself? I know it's really expensive to get it done.
It is, and I have thought about it. I was working with a friend before I got in Comics Kingdom. Talking with a friend, we were going to do he was working on Blender. Mm-hmm. We were going to put something together. It just kind of fell by the wayside. We were thinking about doing like a 1 or 2 minute short for like YouTube or something like that. Now I don't even know if I can without going through my syndicate. I don't know what the rules are, in the contract and all of that. I might need to go through them before I do anything like that. But it doesn't mean I can't do an animated feature of something else. It's just they have the distribution rights for Suburban Fairy Tales, so it's like a gray area.
Well, if it's an option for you, Francis, I mean, Blender's really hard. I've tried learning it. It's unless you know it, it's a large learning curve. But your artwork is actually great for a software product called Spine. It's produced by Esoteric. I use it in my game all the time, and it's great. Once you get it, it goes really quickly. You can import your graphics that you have there and easily animate them. Especially since it's 2D, it works.
And
really
it's
well.
Easy to pick up.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like $300. Boom, you get the pro version. You don't have to invest any more money after that. I bought it several years ago when I started episode 1, and I'm using it now. I just made a major breakthrough, but you can export to any platform that you want, like iOS, Android, whatever, and you can purpose it across multiple media. It's really cool.
Oh, I guess it's something I should look into.
I'll shoot you the link. Yeah, I'll put it in the private chat. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that. My friend was the one who was going to do it on the Blender. I was just going to write. I was doing the storyboards.
Yeah.
And he was going to do all the animation, but we just got busy, and never got around to it, but I'm hoping. I think I have a short somewhere, like a test reel that he did. Might be worth showing off one of these days.
Ooh, see, now that's what you do with it. You tease. You have some fun with it. You go to the audience. Do you want to see it? Do you not want to see it? Do a whole poll. Show them a little leg. Take it back. Come on. Speaking of showing, hey Dennis, how you doing?
Oh man, I am so sorry. Let me take a little nap. It'll be fine.
Don't worry about it. I feel you. It's hot. It's annoying. Yeah, stuff happens, folks.
Oh man, how is everybody?
Having fun talking all about the comics industry.
Oh yeah, it's a fun place. Let me tell you.
Francis, so you're going to be teasing the audience there. I know that you're also still working on all the Archie stuff. How's all that going?
Archie's good. Honestly, it's slowed down a little bit. They're not publishing as many new stories as they used to. Yeah, well, like with the whole thing with the Diamond distributors, their bankruptcy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's really it's not good. We'll say that. And it's affected all the mid to small publishers. DC, Marvel, they're fine, but a lot of other publishers, they're really struggling. And Archie will be fine, but it hit them hard. Just like everyone else in comics.
I gotta say, I think I was watching the feed for Royal Collectibles because they do this on Wednesday. They show the new books, and it was Jay and Silent Bob meet Archie, and I was like,
yeah. There's Kevin Smith. He wrote the. I don't know how many pages it is. I forget, but they got Kevin Smith to do a Jay and Silent Bob, and that's awesome. That's great because I love Kevin Smith movies.
Right.
I love Jay and Silent Bob. I love Archie. So
great combination.
Yeah.
Were you part of that project, Francis?
No, I had nothing to do with that.
Okay, yeah, because I just picked up 2 copies because Fernando Ruiz, who does that, is at the Kubert School, so I want him to sign the copies that I bought. So if you had it, I'd get your signature for that one as well. So anyway.
It's funny because somebody's saying, "Where's the hat, Dennis?"
The hat's in the box. It's felt, so it's kind of hot to wear in the summertime. It's more like a winter hat, but
Oh, okay. I see. I'm looking at the private chat, going, "What's this? I don't know this link." Oh, that's you sending it to Francis.
Yeah, that's the software. I opened it up. I'm bookmarking it on my browser.
That's what you got to do.
I got it.
Because this whole feed disappears once we get on.
Yeah, nope, it's opened. I got it. It's on one of my tabs here.
Look at that. Spreading the love around. Frank, I love your AI art promos.
I can't take credit, but
yeah.
The person that does this is amazing. So I can't, she's it's off the hook, and she's on Long Island, which isn't even better.
Look at the beautiful art.
Yeah, that's the cover of my latest. Actually, I've got the book over here.
Oh, even better.
Book. Holding it up. See?
Boom.
Oh, nice.
We've got the title over here. I took it off the Instagram just to see so you can see the artwork standalone.
It always amazes me how much better it looks in person. It's very rare that the art looks better apart from the project than when you finally have it in your hands. I've yet to I've seen 2 or 3 books like that, but usually the book looks so much better when you see it in person.
I agree, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's a hint. Everybody buy this book so you have it in person, physically holding it.
It's always fun. Look at it.
So this is my ongoing story where Little Pig number 2 has moved out of the house with the other pigs, and so this figment of his imagination is now tormenting him, so he can't escape He wanted to just peace and quiet, just to be alone by himself.
I love the art style. It reminds me of like the Sunday comic book strips when I was a kid. Very
Thank
cool.
you. Yeah, it's
The artwork's awesome. But
huge inspiration.
Isn't that like all of us when we're trying to come up with ideas?
100%. That is me all the way. For
That's
sure.
I was about to say, I don't need no figment of my imagination.
No,
Padma,
but
that's
I'm
Padma
looking at that. I'm
behind
like,
me, telling me what's going on.
like
missed the
we're
letter
all
right
trying
there.
to do a good storyboard or connect certain characters or storylines or whatever, and that's every person who ever tried to write something like, oh man, I'm really stuck. I don't know where to go, and that's that little black cloud that's kind of like on your shoulder,
Oh,
except he's like, haha, I'm blocking your ideas in your brain right now. But that's kind of cool, man. I really like that.
Sure. Love it.
Love it. I just showed off my figment, so if you guys ever went to Disney.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's Disney's figment. I'm not calling mine figment. So Disney lawyers, if you're listening, he's not called figment.
Dude, yours looks completely different anyways. And they can't. Well, they might try, but they can't trademark a word. I know Disney's tried before.
So he's not figment. He's figment of his imagination. That's all one.
Oh my god. I gotta say, anytime I see a figment of any imagination, I always have fun with it because this is exactly what happens. Like Frank was saying, this is exactly what happens when you're trying to create.
I'll just take a figment of reality, but I don't need imagination.
Well, the worst is when you get, and it happens to all of us. You get writer's block at some point.
Oh
yeah.
It happens. Everybody. It's like sometimes it's just like you're thinking too hard, and you have a deadline, and you can't come up with anything. And I've been asked before, like, what do you do? So everybody has a different way of dealing with it. Mine is, all right, you got to sometimes walk away and do something else. You got to give your brain a rest.
Yeah.
Come back to it if you can, the next day. That's why I always work ahead. So I'm always like 2 to 3 months ahead of what you're looking at here was done 3 months ago. So that if I do need to take a week just to take a break, I can, and then I just try to double up the next week.
That's a good idea.
It's a very good idea.
Francis, you're going to be at EternalCon. You're going to bring all your beautiful books there, like the one that you have right there with you, and people can actually go and purchase this stuff. See,
and
full
it's color.
Better.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, full color, and it's got an exclusive story, not available online. It's done in like a Dr. Seuss style book.
Nice.
Okay.
Rhymes. It's called A Stinky Situation. So it's really a book within a book.
That's awesome.
A book within a book.
Like that. What's that movie with the dreams and the dreams? It's Inception, right? It's just like
there
that.
Yeah.
It's an inception of a comic.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though.
How much is the book?
The book is $15.
That's not that bad. Okay.
Yeah,
I paid
not
20
expensive.
for mine. What the heck? That's not true.
Yeah, for full color. So yeah.
Francis charged me 20.
That's the friends the friends fee.
Is that the Friends discount?
Yeah,
Discount?
Oh my
the
god.
friends markup is what it is.
No, look, he paid me. I paid 15 for it, but he did autograph it, which made it even more valuable. So there you go.
Yeah, and to get it from me, you get it signed and you get a free sticker.
I get the sticker
Something
too.
for free, folks.
Free sticker.
Always the best deal is when you get something, and you don't have to pay shipping and handling.
Exactly.
You just show up at Hofstra for EternalCon, and you get to meet with him, and you get to talk to him, and he signs your book.
Yeah, I'll be nice. I promise. I don't bite.
I need a transporter from Star Trek. It's like, yeah, shipping, handling. All right, I had to drive there.
The transporter freaks me out. I think I'd still take the shuttle back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what Bones used to say? And be like, I'm not taking that shit.
Yeah.
Nah, see, you guys are doing too complicated. You need to get a scepter.
You got to go all Doctor Strange.
There you go.
There
Oh
you
man,
go.
what do you, Doctor Strange? I'm going back to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Turtles in Time. You remember they had the scepter and all,
Yeah.
you know, man, I'm old. Yeah,
No, I
we
remember
all-
you're talking about the movie, the third movie, right?
yeah, when they had the scepter and then yeah.
Oh, the suits look so bad in that one.
I love those though, but I mean the first one was better. But
First one's a
That's good.
classic. Can't go wrong with
First
the
was the
first one.
classic.
well, that
Second
was
one was
that was
decent.
old Jim Henson. Then his son,
Yeah.
Yeah.
finishing it. You know,
Yeah, they were great in the first two. The third one, I don't know why they had like all those like the spots everywhere, but
yeah,
a little off.
She just used the first what they used in the first two. You
And
know?
and there was a one scene I never understood this where they knocked the guy off a cliff. This is towards the end of the movie. Do you remember this? This scene when
Yeah.
he's falling towards the water, and then the effect is that he just kind of disappears.
Disappears.
There's no splash. He's just gone. Why wouldn't you just cut away and hear a splash? Like edit in the
Right.
sound of a splash so that it didn't look so bad.
That's funny, but that's not the only movie that did that. You always, you would see somebody fall into the water, and then they would just like get lost in like the.
That's what happened.
So I got a story for you. So talking about Ninja Turtles, so I am friends with Ken Scott. Met him at a con up in Syracuse. Become friends with him, so we've been trying to kind of do cons together. Really awesome guy. Call him once in a while. So in the time that I got to see him and hang out with him, he told me a story. There's a book that he has. It's called Becoming the Real Rafael. And no, I'm not promoting it for
Nobody's
him.
becoming me. Nobody's becoming. Oh wait, that's not what we're talking about. 1 second, Frank. Put a pin in that. Paul has to go early today.
Okay.
Paul, why don't you tell the people all the good stuff about yourself and what they can see when they go to you're going to be hanging out. Well, Professor is going to be hanging out.
Professor's hanging out Saturday. You'll see me with Rafael. We'll be going together as a group at Eternal, so it's going to be a blast. So that's cool. Yeah, my game, Time Enforcers, is available for purchase on all the app stores pretty much. You can get it from timeenforcers.com/get. iOS, Android, Mac, and PC. Please download it, play it. Let me know what you think. I'm working on episode 2 now. I'm super pumped. I made a huge breakthrough today, so I can easily get it on Android and iOS as well with full animation. So I'm so psyched right now. The first level I'm working on, it's like Galaga style. So if you remember Galaga from 1990s playing like aliens, you get to fly as Amelia Earhart and blow up interdimensional beings.
That's awesome.
So it looks really hot. I'm really excited about it, and I just can't wait to get this going. So really appreciate you guys. My wife is appearing with the state senator in Washington, D.C. tomorrow to talk about learning disabilities and how we can help it.
Nice.
So, yeah, I got to get her to the train first thing in the morning. So there is a premise behind my game. My wife was super when it comes to like learning disabilities and really making sure this is engaging for all kids. So there's more than just a game here. So I'm really proud of it, and I hope you guys like it if you do try it out. So look forward to seeing everyone on Saturday.
Sure,
It's going to be a blast.
That's awesome.
Thanks,
I
guys.
can't wait. I'm very excited for Saturday. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.
It was good to see you.
Later.
Be safe.
All right, Frank, you were saying?
Yes. So, he was. So you know that scene where Raphael's carrying April in Grand Central?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was a real train. That wasn't a fake train.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He was telling me, and like I began to read it. I'm still trying to get parts to read it, but he was telling me, and then I called him. I'm like, that really happened? He goes, yeah, dude. He goes, we thought they had it blocked off, went into film crew and touching base. And I'm like, I hear a train was not supposed
Did he
to
jump
be
in front of a train in that scene?
He was really running, and he was like, the train was not supposed to, and they kept it. I'm like, oh my God. He's like, dude, that was not.
That sounds like Hollywood.
That's scary, man.
You almost died, but that was
I
great
had
footage.
no idea. That was wow, that's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like he had told, like sometimes I still call him. I'm like, oh, like when I do talk to him, like I still can't believe that. He goes, yeah, man. He goes. I'm like, dude, how did you not be so terrified by like something like that? You know, that was nuts. He's a really awesome guy, man.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
Did you see like the recent images. They were online a couple of years ago of the suits from the movies and how they deteriorated. Like
Yeah.
just
No, I
over
did not see
time.
that.
You got to look that up. They look like you can see like the eyeballs, like with all the green like skin is away. Like, they look freaky, like
Yeah.
horror monsters.
Oh wow.
It's crazy. Yeah, you gotta when Ralph gets back, maybe he can pull it up.
I know he was having glitches on some of his,
Yeah, he was having issues last week too with his computer, so maybe he's
there he is.
Oh, he's back.
What are we talking about?
Talking about your
I was
computer.
gone for a second.
I gotta check that out, Francis. I didn't know that. Like, like I see where he's always gonna go, and I don't want to say, but like there's a con that I'm going to be doing next year that he's going to be going to. So we kind of score a victory, and he didn't tell me when the day was, but because it's like one that I kind of normally do. I mean, people that follow me kind of get the idea where, but he was telling me, and it's kind of funny. He's going to be at Connecticut. Terrificon the same weekend I'm doing Boston.
Well, it is kind of Connecticut.
Yeah,
I know. I'm like
Mohegan Sun, so
whoops, but it got tongue tied there. But I mean, I would have loved to do a con with him, and then he's like, man, we just miss each other by like maybe. I mean, Connecticut's what, about 2 hours from Boston, right?
About that, yeah.
Yeah. So
have you done Terrificon yet, Frank?
Yeah, I've done it like twice, dude. That was
It's a good show. I haven't done it yet, but I heard it's really, really good.
It's a great show.
But I do Boston. I like Boston and Terrificon are usually the same weekend. So like I know it's the same weekend this year. It's the same weekend. It's the same weekend like every year. I just don't know.
Yeah, it's getting hard now because there's so many conventions happening at the same time.
The same dates, yeah. It's hard to plan.
That same weekend as Terrificon, you got retro gaming in the Cradle of Aviation, which is happening that same weekend. And there's a couple other things like you're saying, Frank, that's happening that same weekend.
But that's just like as you go like later on the year, there's certain ones, right? Like we all know about the big ones, right? No one's going around San Diego or New York City Comic-Con or Rhode Island, right? Those are the meccas, those are high up there. No one is going near Rhode Island, right? And those dates are usually locked in, and no one's stupid enough to put a.
I don't know about that, Frank, because I've seen other conventions happen at the same time.
Have you? Okay.
Oh, I definitely have.
Planning. Like, there's no coordination. It seems like everybody either they do it purposely or they just have no idea there's another con going on. They do it anyway.
I think what pisses me out the most is when people go, "Well, that won't affect us." I'm like, dude. Like Anime NYC is happening, and they go, that won't affect us. I'm like, half the people that you're going to have at your con are going to be at Anime NYC.
Right.
The last time that I did Terrificon, I think he moved the date, and he moved the date because when San Diego was happening, he was going to lose people that was going to go to San Diego.
Yeah. Right.
So he had moved that, and like even though Connecticut is way further past San Diego, right? But he's going to lose his business if he didn't change the date from the same weekend that San Diego was.
Right.
Because he might have people that, all right, they're going to San Diego and they're not going to be staying, so when you have those major cons that are scheduled, you got to take into consideration, all right, I got to kind of move the date by a week or do it like 2 weeks later or whatever, because he doesn't want to lose the business from the vendors,
Makes sense,
I gotta say, I was wondering why there was so little cons in July, and now that you're saying this, it makes more sense because San Diego Comic-Con is in July.
Well, that's what July 18th, 20th, something like that.
I got it over here. Hold on, let me see.
I think it's like next week or something.
Yeah, it's like a week or two, right?
2 weeks away. Yeah, it's not happening this week, which is I'm guessing why we have Eternal this week. It's not happening next week, which we have Anitomo next week. It's having the week after that. So in 3 weeks, it'll be San Diego Comic-Con. And we got people there. We got a lot of people there, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Phil Russert
my friends are going to be there. I'm kind of jealous.
I think Phil Russard's heading out there. I know
Michael Dolce is going to be out there for
Wars
sure. I talked
is
to
out
him.
there. There's a lot of our guys out there, you know. So
Yeah,
keep
Michael
an eye
Dolce is
out.
going to be out there.
Yeah. San Diego Comic Con, that's a dream. You know, Francis, have you done it yet?
I want to go. They sent me a pass, a pro pass I got, but I didn't mean to sign up for. I meant to sign up, to not to go, but to just be approved to go.
Yeah.
But they sent me the pass, but I'm not actually going to use it. I'm not going to be able to go. So.
Oh man, that's messed up.
But I would
But
love
I
to
get
go.
you though, because it's a lot of planning to go.
Yeah, for
And it's
sure.
so funny because they always tell you the same thing. They tell me the same thing, Francis. Just apply for it and then
Yeah.
figure it out later. And I'm like, yeah, but if I get in, then what happens after that? Jorge Medina, is saying that he'll be out there, and
Oh, nice.
he's gonna be doing a shameless plug while he's out there.
Best title ever, by the way.
Oh my God, I told Jorge that I'm gonna keep making all these little comments and stuff because it's the shameless plug. It just sells itself. You guys are probably wondering out there what are we talking about. Jorge Medina has a new book coming out in October. It's called The Shameless Plug. Cute, amazing. You guys got to check it out. And while the people are talking, I'll go look for it on Kickstarter so you guys can do the sign up to get notified because that's always important.
Okay.
He goes, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried to get to San Diego Comic-Con a couple of times now. But again, it's I feel like it's not getting in. It's getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there, and it's like the hotel space.
Exactly.
Well, they jack up that,
Oh yeah,
for
they
sure.
do it here in New York.
Yeah, if I knew somebody who lived in San Diego, like a family member or something, who said, "Hey, you can just stay with me for that week," I would do it. At that point, be like, all right, I'll just pay for the flight.
Right.
I could stay with you. I could, bring some books to sell. I don't think I'd bring my whole setup because it's just, I don't know. It seems like it'd be a lot.
I agree.
But yeah, I definitely want to give it a try one of these days.
Yeah, man, me too, for sure.
Well, I know for like it's different because like I thought about doing it, and you have with writers, you have to have new material each year that was published in the same.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I didn't expect that to find out. Not that but like I was like, wow, that's the only con that I ever heard of that you have to have new material each year in order to get into.
I thought it was because you only have to register every 3 years, or am I wrong on that?
I don't know. I looked into it a while, like last year. I think I looked into it, but like New York City's not like that. MegaCon's not like that. Boston, Rhode Island, none of them. They want the business for, people to vend and be part of that show. I've never heard of any top Comic-Con except them to ask for that. It was kind of something I wasn't expecting.
Well, they are the biggest, so I guess they can.
Yeah.
They can do what they want, right?
Yeah, they can. It's their business, right? They can run it the way they want,
So you see, folks, it's just a little shameless plug, but there it is. Jorge Medina's The Shameless Plug. Look at it. Look at that plug, man. Isn't he cute? Come on, folks. Go check it out. Go sign up to get notified. Go help the project out. Like I said, the more followers it has, the better it is for the work.
I love that artwork.
I do.
Dude, I love it, man.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it's a great combination. The name, the fact that you got this smart ass plug. Yeah, it's a nice little kids book, and folks, you're gonna love it. Let me see. We had a couple of things happening over here before I put this up. He said he'd love to go. We all should get a hotel room together and go. There you go. That's a good idea too.
Good idea.
That's always a great idea. Is to go with a bunch of people that you know.
Yeah, it's definitely cost effective too.
Frank can sleep on the floor.
Listen, I can sleep anywhere, so I'm good. Just give me a pillow.
I did that once at years ago at Otakon. I shared a room, and I ended up coming back to the room really late, and I didn't get both of the beds were being taken, so I had to sleep in the chair. Very uncomfortable.
Oh wow,
I've done that one before.
Yeah,
for a couple of cons. Jorge Medina says, "You rock, bro. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you." The shameless, can't even talk now. The shameless plug. Love it. Love it. Yeah, I've done it for enough conventions. We've gone to a couple of them where we've had to stay in hotels and like get some rest in the car.
You know what? The best thing would be take an RV across country and just like pull off the side of the road and sleep in it.
The bitten Applemobile.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea to do a tour, like do different cons along the states, you know, because
Yeah.
record what you're doing. That'd be fun.
Like a band would do. You know, you just you got a tour van.
Yeah.
We had like a couple of drivers for a while, and then everybody got busy. So now I don't like to drive, so I'm not driving.
Yeah. No, that's a lot, man.
Oh.
Especially when you're going, like, you know, across different states, it's a lot of driving, so a lot of wear and tear on your body.
Francis, what's the farthest you've gone
For conventions?
Mm-hmm.
New York Comic Con is probably the farthest.
Mm-hmm.
I did Otakon. That's in Baltimore. So
Okay, there we go.
That's probably the farthest that I've gone.
I know Frank's been like all travel all over the place now.
I've done Mega this year. Will be like the third year I've gone there, and as far as, I mean, that's as far as I've gone that far. I mean, I got FanX in Utah this year, so that's the furthest.
Ooh, Utah, dude, that's almost California. You're just testing the boundaries now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really hit that part of the United States, so so it's but so I mean, but before that, the furthest I've gone was MegaCon, which is in Orlando. Then before that, it'll be GalaxyCon Richmond, which is now a 4-day. This year, it was it added to the 4-day. It's probably the second busiest show under the GalaxyCon besides Raleigh. Raleigh's their biggest, and then Raleigh, and then probably Richmond, and then I don't know where it goes from there, but they're good shows. They run some good cons over there.
Look, he's saying the hills have eyes. Bitten apple is. Dennis, how far have you gone?
Furthest I've been is Modesto, California for first it was
Modesto
Con.
California. Okay.
And then it was
country.
the PDCon.
Yeah.
Modesto was awesome. They like paid me to be out there. I was like a
see, that's when it's great. When they
paid
actually
my hotel, they paid for everything. I just had to be there. It was freaking great.
Dude, that's
so a lot of good people. The food there is excellent, man. I went to a burrito truck that didn't. The truck was broken down, but people cooking in the back. Best food I've ever had in my life. So good.
That's what FCP. I was in California and a truck, dude. You just had like that was home cooked food.
The best part was because I had to walk there because I got lost, so I had to walk to the burrito truck. It was crazy, and it was late at night. It was like a whole bunch of like shady people walking around. I don't know where I was. It was an adventure for sure, but definitely worth it.
I've done Dallas Fan Expo last year, and man, they had some really, really great pulled pork, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, they made it like that. Like like I walked. Like my hotel wasn't that far from everything, so I just kind of walked. I'm just used to walking. Live in New York, you walk, whatever, right? And I mean, just between my accounts that I have, during my regular job, I must be walking like 2-3 miles. So walking 2-3 miles is really nothing to me. And man, they had some kick-ass pulled pork when they did MegaCon. They had some really good tacos down there. They had just all good food. Anything you want in Orlando, you could probably get.
Yeah, for sure.
How'd you like Dallas? Because that's my wife's parents live in Dallas, so if I did do the convention there, I'd have some place to stay.
Nice.
It was a very good con. I ain't gonna lie. I did very well, and that was like part of not. I wanted to do it this year, but like it was very tough because it was like the week, like I work for Coke, so like coming off of Memorial Day, we have short weeks. So it was like that Friday was starting after Memorial Day. I'm like, oh, that's not going to work. So like sometimes when they have the dates, like that was really good. I thought they had great readers down there. They had people that were willing to read. Let's put it that way. Certain areas are better with reading materials than others. But yeah, that was a good. That was definitely, it was worth looking into, you know, and and like you could probably, catch a decent flight, from. I mean, I basically worked and maybe flew in on Thursday night, and then set up Friday morning. Yeah, these are like when ones that I have to kind of do like after work and everything. That's how I do, and then I'm back home on Sunday night and going back
Mm.
to work, going back
Yeah.
to the office. You know,
Whew. That
yeah,
sounds like a lot.
yeah, it is. Yeah, a couple monsters usually give me some adrenaline or some Dr. Peppers usually keep the adrenaline going, and then talking to the new people that you create, people down there were fantastic. I've
Nice.
never really bumped into an area where a con that I went to that people were just miserable, um and then if I bump into the few that I have, I just ignore them. It's just typical. Someone's a douche. Okay, goodbye. Won't it's But I mean, we've all done enough cons that we could probably say the same thing. You bump into a few here and there, and then you just do your thing. You're there to, create new consumers, create, lure people into your artwork or your comic books or whatever,
Right.
or and that's what your job is to do, right? Like as much as it sounds like, hey, you're trying to create new followings to your brand or
Yeah.
your books or your comics or whatever we're writing, and that's what we do. I don't worry, to be honest with you. I don't worry about anybody around me because I worry about who's going to be interested in the Dark Legend of Foreigner series,
Yeah.
and then when you're trying to broaden out the reach to new people, that's what we all like. That's all what we all want to do.
It's true. That's right.
No,
Yeah.
no, for sure.
I gotta say, like, I've seen people that worry about who their booth mates are, on either side, and I'm like,
Yeah.
half the time you don't have to worry about that.
No, really. Just as long as you focus on your table, what you're doing, you'll be fine. Of course, you're bumping the jerks. I remember I had this guy next to me at New York Comic Con years ago. He was like complaining about everything, like my booth was too big. This is when I was Pronto, so we had a booth. I think we're on well, I think it was on the main floor, and there was this booth next to us. It was complaining about this display was too high, this and that. We're taking the customers. I'm like, yo, shut up, like, sell your stuff and worry about yourself. Don't worry about us. Just very annoying.
I had one guy that stuck out in my mind. I did Fan Expo Philly, maybe it's like 2 years ago, and I was setting up. Kind of got there a little bit late, so I was setting up and doing my thing, setting up my banners, the tables. You guys see how my tables pretty much look,
Yeah.
very same, just about, adding some more books I write. I'm gonna have no room to put them on there.
Right.
But anyway, uh, um, and this guy came over to me, we crossed the way, and he goes, "Hey, I saw you across the way. How come you didn't come up over and say hello?" Listen, I'm from New York. Sorry. And I looked at him. Excuse me? Like, you didn't just say that to me, man. I mean, you just walked over. I said, "You see me setting up." I said, "I didn't make my way, but now you could go back and turn around and say your table."
Yeah.
I'm but just like with a very cocky, like arrogant, I don't like people like
Like, you're
that.
supposed to know who he is or something. That's crazy.
Right. So I mean, I kind of got annoyed and he was like staring at me. And then what was the best thing that like he did terrible. And then I
Mm,
go, so like after the con was over, I'm like, I said, I guess I know who won, me saying hello and you
right.
saying goodbye. He didn't like that I said that. But I'm like, you know what? Just hey, people come over and say hello when they're done setting up things
Right.
that they need to get done. What's most important? Setting up your table, making it look the right way, the way you need to make it how you view it, not how someone else view it. Hey, then you'll get, when you're get everything all set up, then you'll go over and say hello. But I'm like, that guy just annoying me, dude. You know.
Yeah, that's strange that like, he would go out of his way just to say, hey, you know, you just say hello to me. It's like, but you're busy doing something. You should see that, like, when you're done, maybe, but like not while you're setting up.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and like I said, like I kind of got there late. It was opening me up within the hour, so
Right.
you know, I had to get registered. I had to walk along and try to find where my table was.
Right.
You know, Philly Convention Center. But you know, I was like, oh man, this guy just annoyed me.
Yeah.
You know, like I
The
said,
cons are interesting. I find that most of the times you find good people.
yeah.
I'll say the majority, like everybody's cool for the most part. I have
100%.
very few bad experiences doing cons.
I feel like what Dennis had said, you know, and then like what I said, but that was way. I mean, the neighbors that you have, you meet and are really generally good people.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I've done close to 50. I think that was like maybe 1 or 2 instances that I had. So I mean, you took it that what is that like maybe 1 or 2% of the time? That's not a lot. That's really not a lot. You know, I mean. You know, but
I gotta say, so which con do you guys think you is one of those good places where you meet people, you have fun, you really enjoy it. Anyone can start. Which ones do you usually?
For me
Which ones are
personally,
the ones?
you mean like the con itself or the con, like the specific location of the con? Because I had a great time in California. California was great.
Mm.
Everybody was friendly. Everybody was nice. I guess they made a big deal because I was from out of state, so like, oh wow, it's like kind of like a celebrity kind of thing. But it was crazy. But everybody was super nice. I met a lot of cool people. I remember RJ Hardy, he was there, and he does this. He's like a special effects makeup guy. He's like big. He's a huge deal. I think he worked on Walking Dead, a whole bunch of other shows. He was there. He was giving a workshop, and he's actually a fan of mine. I had no idea. I was like, dude, you're a fan of me. Like, you're famous. Like, you know, it's kind of crazy. But it was cool. It was actually, who else did I meet out there? Oh man, what's his name? Hold on, I gotta check my Facebook. He's a lot of work for Transformers and all those big Jamie Sullivan. There he is. He started off in marketing and advertising, but then he moved over to he does like Transformers, the does a lot art for G.I. Joe. Really cool guy. We did a panel together, so it's not just like meeting people along the way, like especially when you're out of state. It's fun when you meet new people because like broadening your fan base a little bit, broadening your network. It's just a lot of fun.
Gotta love it. Again, I love the conventions. One of the ones I love is CradleCon. CradleCon is always a great place to go.
That's always been a great show, though.
Networking is amazing. The freaking location, the Cradle of Aviation. Oh my god,
it's a great place too, man. I've been there a couple of times. It's a fun con too.
It is. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Francis.
I was just saying, no, it's great going to CradleCon, especially because you get to, you go around to all the tables, you get to talk to people. Everybody there has been so nice and friendly.
Yeah.
I do really like it, but I've never had I can't say I've had a really bad experience at any convention. There's been little things like there's table etiquette, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
We've all done it. We all know what the table etiquette. Don't block somebody else's display.
Exactly.
Right? Don't play music that's really loud.
Sure.
If someone's making a sale, don't like, hey, come check my stuff out. Let them. I've dealt with like a couple of little things here and there, but nothing super. The worst thing that happened was somebody actually took my table at New York Comic Con one year.
What? Really?
Yeah. Well, not my spot. They took the table. So I had
I know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah.
No, they took my we had a corner table, and so you're provided with one. If you get a corner spot at New York Comic Con, you get one table that they give you, and then you get another corner. You have to bring your own table for the other side.
Right.
Okay.
So I come to set up, and I didn't get there right early in the day. I got there a little later in the afternoon. My table's gone.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Everyone else's table is there, except for mine. Someone took it so that they didn't have to pay New York Comic Con for another table.
Wow.
And I knew who it was because I looked around, and they, how they have the special table skirts.
Yeah,
they mark it. Yeah.
Yeah, they have the special table skirt, so you know when it's a table that belongs to the Javits Center.
Right.
And I looked around and I saw there's a corner table. I'm not going to name names right now, but I'm like, there's a corner
No,
table
you said definitely name names.
with a table skirt. I can't prove it. That's the thing. I can't prove it. I wasn't there. I didn't see that person take it. Evidence says that person probably did take it. And I even approached them and said, hey, did you have an extra table or something? I just want to see what they're saying. No, I don't have an extra table. So, the way that they kind of
said it and defense and very defensive.
Yes, very defensive about it. I was like, okay, I wasn't gonna get into an altercation. I wasn't gonna point fingers, but I was like, all right. So I had to suffer and wait for somebody to bring me another table, and it took hours to get another table. I was gonna be there I'll set up for half an hour, then I'm out of there. But I had to wait hours for them to bring me a table. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, that's man, I'll lose my mind. I'll go to jail for sure.
That's crazy, Francis.
Yeah. But it's so like, how do you do that to another person? That's insane to me.
Because the person who did that just probably didn't care and was not considerate and just
that's nuts, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's messed up. That's just purely messed up, man.
So yeah, and that was probably the worst thing that has ever happened to me at a convention. But it always stands out because it's like, they have security around. Can't somebody see somebody like pulling a table away?
Right.
It just left a bad taste in my mouth, but whatever, it was fixed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At least they didn't charge you for an extra table.
Yeah, right.
No, they didn't charge me for the table. And the people at the Javits Center, and the people at New York Comic Con, they were all like super nice about it. And I get it. It was so busy. They're all trying to set up. And here I am, somebody stole my table. All right, well, they work with unions and this whole thing. It's not like, we'll just get you a table.
It's not easy.
You have to wait for the proper person. It's a whole big thing. Because I remember when I was there, I asked somebody for help. I said, oh, no, I can't do it because of so-and-so. You have to go to that guy over there. It's like,
the right person has to bring you.
Really strict.
It's like when you're trying to get your stuff into Javits. If you got a little bit of stuff and you can carry it with your truck, you're fine. But if you need to get some big trucks in there, then you need help from the union.
It's nuts though. Like I had no idea how involved it was. Like you can't just like help a guy move a ladder across the hall because he's not in the right proper job description or whatever. It's like very, very intense.
They wouldn't let me bring. I remember one time they wouldn't let me bring scissors in, a small little pair of scissors.
Yeah.
And I said, well, how am I going to open up the boxes?
Yeah.
Use my fingernail.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I think sometimes they get carried away.
Yeah.
Because then you'll see somebody at another table with the scissors and they're like,
yeah. I see them with swords. I'm like,
yeah. Dude, that bugged me out. One of the things that bugged me out about New York Comic Con, they changed it a little bit now. But it was like when they started banning the weapons from the convention. And then I'm like, but I can go buy the weapon in the convention.
Right.
and bring it with me.
Well, if you leave the building, you can't come back.
Yeah.
They changed it now because I think now what they do is they either they hold your weapon till the end of the convention, or they send it to you, or you get it mailed to you, or I forget what it is now. But
you can't just walk around with it. Yeah,
it's also, that makes sense. The weapons they have now are facsimiles.
Right.
Those wooden, the wooden swords. I've seen those. They look like real swords, but they're not.
Yeah. And I gotta say, Eternal Con, I love in Hofstra the setup. It's amazing. The tier setup.
It's nice place.
Yeah, I think it's one of my favorite parts is like you're on top, you can see down below. You're down below, you can see on top. And it's easy to navigate through.
Yeah, and we're on King's Landing there.
Yeah,
that's
where you are. That's where you are this year again, Francis.
Wherever Artist Alley is, so they had it up on the top last time.
Upstairs.
Yeah, so if that's where it is. I haven't seen a map for this year. Did they release?
Me neither. I haven't seen
it. Let me look at the site. I'll let you know. Keep talking.
from the email that they sent like us for the setup, they said that you get your spot when you register. So okay,
What do you mean,
And-
like first come, first serve kind of a thing?
No, I don't think. I think you were able when you got a table or something, you were able to select your table, but they didn't like send that like, hey, load in, load out kind of like email that you get for a con. Like they didn't send this is where everybody is, and they didn't send that I guess so. When you go to register and set up on Thursday or on Friday or whenever. I'm sorry, Friday. I'm thinking that this is a 3-day con, So on Friday, when you go to set up, when you did in an email, they said that they'll like let everybody know when they register and they get their badges and stuff like that. Okay.
Gotcha.
Some cons do that, not a lot, but some of them do that I've gone. The best ones I've ever gone to, the engagements that I get was definitely Orlando. Orlando's been very good to me, and so is Boston Fan Expo. They've been very good. They have good engagements with new people that are interested, and they talk to you and they talk how do you get into writing and stuff like that. You get a lot of good people like that. Those two I tend to get. Terrificon was another good one. Got a lot of people from Connecticut. And being home is always nice.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm here at the site, and then I don't see anything yet. So they might wait till you guys are there to like. Let you know
Like when you
guys
hey,
are.
I'm so and so. Your table's over
Yeah.
here, kind of thing.
They don't have a map for like just like the general, like we may not know the table, but hey, Artist Alley is here.
No,
Celebrities are
what I
here.
was looking for here.
They sent out an email, but it was just a general, a general email. Well, thanks for participating in this year's, EternalCon. It was just a very basic general one, nothing crazy.
Yeah, this is just explaining things.
Right. I think setup has to be Friday, right? Like
yeah, Friday. I said Thursday because I guess I'm so used to doing 3-day cons, so I get tongue-tied. Whoops,
Yeah, and no setting up Saturday, so we have no choice but to set up Friday.
Right.
No setting up on Saturday. Yeah, okay.
No.
I don't know. I didn't remember what it said, but maybe if people have jobs, maybe to come early in the morning. I'm sure you could probably get away with that. I don't know.
There's always a way to get around.
Yeah.
EternalCon, folks, this weekend. Francis will be there. Frank will be there. Dennis, you're gonna be there?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll be there with Buddy in comic book school.
There we go. Oh, that's right. That's where you were 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have a table, Dennis?
Yeah, we do have a table. I just don't know where it is yet.
That's why he was asking. There was an email. Like, just check the email. That they just, like I said,
Yeah, Dennis, you're with the comic school guys, right?
Yeah, comic book school.
Mm-hmm. I like those guys.
Oh, they're good. They're a good bunch, good people. Yeah, for sure.
And it's always a great conversation over there, because you can talk all the good stuff about creating comics and making comics and doing comics.
Yeah, and it starts at 10:30, I think, right?
10:30. Yeah, that's when the doors open.
7, right? Is it to 7?
I think it's
Saturdays
5.
until 7. I think Sundays till 5.
No, Sunday. What about Saturday? Saturday's to 7.
Saturdays until 7 p.m. I believe.
Yeah, and then Sundays to 5. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't see the times here. I always wondered why conventions make it so hard to figure out what time it starts and what time it ends.
They want you to stay there forever.
Yeah, because it's the funniest thing to me is like you go to a convention's website and you figure that the first thing you'll see is, oh, what time does it start? What time does it finish? Nope. And it's not one convention. It's a lot of the conventions do that.
I think it's all of them.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they want you to like get there early or I don't know. Whatever it is, the conventions don't like telling you what time things.
It's the excitement of not knowing.
Yeah.
I think the only time you figure anything out is when they have the panel schedule. That way, you're like, oh, okay. So this panel starts at 11 o'clock. So they have to at least be started by 10.
Right. Got to do your own detective work.
There you have it, folks. Go have fun. Go figure out all the good stuff. I got to tell you, Hofstra is a great place for a convention. It is so much fun. And
It's huge too, man. It's a
the
big campus,
Batmobile will
man.
be there.
Oh, nice. Which one?
So they're gonna have the
version?
Batmobile.
Yeah, the 66 and the 89, I think.
Oh, okay.
They really have cool stuff like that. Remember, I had the Ghostmobile Echo 1 year. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I know,
they had
I know
Echo
one of the
1.
Ghostbuster groups is going to be there, so they probably have that car there as well.
They have like a whole bunch of them. I didn't realize how big that group was. They have like all over the country.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got the
different
New York
versions in different areas.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
You got the Long Island Ghostbusters. You got. You gotta
Yeah,
have fun with the
think,
Ghostbusters.
I think it was last Eternal Con from 2 years ago that you could win, I think, a proton pack from Long Island Ghostbusters.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh, that was nice.
You had to buy a raffle. I did buy a raffle. I didn't win though, unfortunately.
No! Gotta win.
Yeah.
There's no specific information on the website. Okay.
You just show up and figure it out when you get there.
Just go, have fun.
You'll be fine. Just show up. The doors open.
Buy comics, buy D&D stuff. Get a book from Francis. Get a book from Dennis. Get a book from Frank. Go check out our friend, the Professor, Rolling Around, because he looks good in it.
There you go.
And ask him about Time Enforcers.
Yeah, that's a great concept though. Like I know he's I talked to him last week. It was great though. Like his idea, like what he's doing with the integration and interaction and stuff is very, very brilliant. It must take a long time to put together. Has to.
Dude, he's been working on this for a while now, and he's been working his butt off.
Yeah.
And the only thing he's figured out that he needs a group of people to help him.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of work, man. That's crazy for one person. That's insane.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And he's himself is making the video game, so whew.
What?
And he's learned the whole thing by himself.
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah, Time Enforcers is a labor of love, as you guys heard him say when he was here.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that's why we do it though, because like we wouldn't be here. Yeah. It's not for the money for sure. It's because we love it.
It's not for the money. It is not for the money, folks. I gotta say, I always say like the same thing with Kickstarters. I always tell people the same thing. You know, these people are just trying to get their books out there. They're just trying to get the stuff they love out there. Help them out. You know, indie creators aren't trying to, they want to make money, but they're not trying to make money.
I mean, that's the end goal. I'm just trying to get it out there. I think the biggest thing is pay for printing and like getting it out there. That's the biggest goal. You know, anything that happens after that's a bonus, you know.
Oh man. Let's see what we got here. Too many windows open.
Yeah, I was trying to look to see what the times for Eternal Con were. I was looking at the emails they send on their website. Nothing. So nothing. I don't even know what time I don't know. I think it starts at 10:30. I don't even know.
I didn't do it. I think I saw 10:30 somewhere, like in the emails, like the doors open and all that.
I think it's either 10 or 10:30. Yeah.
I guess we'll find out, when we set up. But it would be nice to know before.
Exactly what time to show up. That would be nice.
Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. There, it is on the website, all the way in the bottom. I didn't even see it there. It's
like the fine print of a contract.
Very fine print. Yeah. So it's Saturday 10:30 to 7, Sunday 10:30 to 5.
Oh wow, you're right. It's all the way on the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh,
you would think that would go on the top of the website, that's important information to know.
I tell you that they make it so you go look for it. They want you to go look through all the stuff they have so you can go find it.
Yeah, right.
So I wonder if they're gonna do kind of like how VIPs get in, like a little earlier. Are they gonna do 10?
Yeah, that's a good question.
10 to 7, or are they doing 10:30 for everybody?
I would imagine if you're a VIP or you're you're a vendor, they'll probably let you in a little early, so get your life together.
Yeah, so you can set up probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I plan to get there a little bit earlier. If they open at 10:30, if I'm there by 10, I should have enough time to
get settled, and then you can relax, walk around a little bit. Yeah, for sure. That'd be the smart thing to do.
I used to do the same thing for Bit and Apple. It got really difficult after a while to get there before the con was open.
Yeah.
I always either make it right on time or 30 minutes to an hour after it starts.
Yeah.
I'm just getting
in all fairness, we used to have drivers, and now it's just me trying to figure things out.
I mean,
I've gotten good at using mass transit to get to these things, though.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better because like with cars, it's traffic, and the thing with me is like I remember I took a car to EternalCon last year, and there was so much traffic that I didn't account for, and I was actually a little late. And I was like, oh my god, you think you take a car, you get there on time, but no, of course not. Traffic is like you can't plan for traffic ever, and it's just like ridiculous.
Not in this state.
No way.
No, I tried to. One time I tried to take the Long Island Railroad in for New York Comic Con. So I took, and this is for me to bring all my suitcases and everything.
Wow.
So I had some friends helping me. We're walking from Penn Station to the Javits Center. Dennis, I see your eyes like opening wide, like what?
Yeah,
And right as we were crossing, you know where the Lincoln Tunnel is, right there.
Yeah.
That's when my boxes fell over and spilled out.
Oh,
And
no.
here I am scrambling to pick up my books. Cars are honking at me. It was, yeah. After that, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to drive in, set up, and I'll take the train in the other days.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it. Yeah. You don't want to set out, because I know a couple of friends who do the same thing that you do. They come in from Long Island on the railroads. They bring all their stuff. They go set up, and I'm always saying the same thing. How are you doing this? This is horrible. Oh my god. Oh, folks, yeah. The things we do for the love of what we do.
For sure, man.
The things we do for love. Oh my god. Dennis, so do me a favor, because you got in after the fact. Give me your link in the private chat, and then tell the people all the good stuff about you.
Oh yeah, hold on. You'd think I would know the website by now, but I still
Oh man, this is going to be a great convention, though. I can just feel it.
They've been really like hyping and promoting it. Like,
they've been doing a good job.
They've been doing it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I keep running into their ads everywhere.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They've been posting on Facebook and Instagram. I don't use Twitter as much. I haven't logged into my Twitter account in like probably about like 3 years.
Yeah, I can't tell you about Twitter either.
But I just feel like
it used to be fun back in the day. Once Musk took it over, just like did a huge nosedive. I don't even go on it anymore, to be honest with you.
Have you used Blue Sky?
I do like Blue Sky better, but it's just like I forget to go on. But yes, it's definitely more creator friendly on that side of things than Twitter.
What is Blue Sky? I never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's basically like Twitter, but it's just like more like artist and creator friendly.
Is it Blue Sky? I gotta check that out.
Yeah, when X went the way it went, Blue Sky showed up, and then a lot of people, a mass exodus down to Blue Sky.
Interesting. I gotta check that out. I never even heard of it. That's why I was like asking. I was like, what's Blue Sky?
I've yet to go there. The people have invited me. Part of me goes, you should go. I'm like, I'm already tired with Instagram and Facebook and TikTok.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep up with, especially like if you're posting, like, you know, to like build your content and like, you know, show your stuff. It's a lot, man. I never post as much as I should because I just hate it. I definitely need to start posting more.
You guys, I mean, I have someone that posts, but like I do it as well.
Yeah,
and it's like it's
a lot of work.
Yeah, because like when I try to post,
Look at that. It came from the radio. It was like Blue Sky is the anti-Twitter.
Yeah.
Anti-Twitter.
I gotta check it out because I didn't know that how.
Yeah, it's a good deal. It's a lot of cool people on there.
All right, well,
a lot of cool people.
Tell us the good stuff. Preach, brother, preach.
Oh man, if I could, just want to tell you guys the panels for Saturday and Sunday with Comic Book School. I have it in my email.
Oh, you're giving us undercover stuff. We like this.
Yeah. So Saturday from 1 o'clock to 2:30 is the title is Origin Story, Interactive Creative Creation Workshop. So the moderator is A.A. Rubin, and the panelists is gonna be Mario Cowell, Vincent, Mario Cowell, myself, Dennis Knight, and a couple other people. Saturday from 3 to 4 is How to Tell a Comic Book Story. Moderators is Buddy Scalera, A.A. Rubin, and yeah. Sunday from 12 to 1, we have World Building for Comic Books, and there was Buddy Scalera, Darren Sanchez, great guy. He used to work for Marvel Comics After Hour Press. Fun guy. I'm actually looking forward to seeing him. And Sunday from 1:30 to 2:30, create a comic book cover in 60 minutes. No,
Ooh.
create a comic book cover. The time is 60 minutes. Moderator is Darren Sanchez, After Hours of Marvel Comics. So yeah, I'm never gonna post this on my Facebook, so you guys can look it up in case you
All
guys
right,
want to
cool.
check it out.
It came from the radio saying, "Where are the panels?"
I don't know. Like last year, they're like downstairs in a room somewhere. It's just like
Mhm.
they tell us the day of the panel, the day of the con, which is kind of annoying because it's like they're scrambling trying to find a place. But as soon as I find out any information, I will post it on my Facebook. I will post it on my social media so people can like find me and check me out. So it'd be great to see you guys.
There you go. Just check Dennis Knight out. You find him everywhere. He's doing great. He's also with this company now, right now. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh man, this is like the best job ever because I get to write and I get money for it, which is awesome.
Oh my God, we're actually getting paid.
Very industrious guy. He has a lot of ideas and like he wants to get into a lot of different things creatively. Like, it's funny how I got the job because it's like we just became fast friends on like the Facebook comic book groups and he offered me a job. Like, hey man, I want you to write for me. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm now currently working on. I'm actually doing articles for his Kevin International magazine. I'm working on advice articles. The first article will be how to have a career in comic books, and I believe the magazine is out for sale right now, if I'm not mistaken. You can go to the website and check it out and buy a copy, or you can go through Philbo Distribution if you're a retailer and you want to like carry the magazine. Philbo Distribution has it. So I'm currently working on this great Christmas horror story called Merry Krampus. I'm actually developing it now. I'm like developing the characters.
Nice.
And it's going to show like the background story of how Krampus came to be. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I had this great new villain I'm excited to show. His name is Bastion, and just going to see like how he's directly involved with the story of Christmas and how everything came about. It's going to be really fun.
Folks, check it out. Just the fact that you got a magazine, because I miss magazines.
Yeah.
Magazines used to be the thing, man.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle magazine, so it's like mental health, industry, business, comic books. It's like everything, the best of all the worlds wrapped into one magazine that you can buy every month.
And they can find you on Instagram and Facebook where?
My Instagram is DEE Knight Writer. My Facebook is Dennis Knight, just my name. And my TikTok is Who is Dennis Knight? And my Twitter, X, whatever, is Mr. Knight Writer. And my Blue Sky is Dennis.Knight something.
All those tags, all those handles. Go find it.
Damn, that's and you remember that? That's pretty good.
I have it written down.
Really good. Yeah.
I have everything written down. My memory's terrible.
Dude, I made sure it was all Bitten Apple TV because I didn't want to remember any different things. and then I think for one of them I have to remember that it's the Bitten Apple instead of just Bitten Apple TV. That always confuses me, and I'm like, oh, never mind. Just write up Bitten Apple TV, you'll find us.
Yeah.
All right, Frank. Tell all the people the beautiful stuff where they can find you, all the good stuff. Go for it.
All right. Unlike Dennis, I only use 2 social medias. And probably be adding a third, but I do have TikTok that I always use to post. But it's my website is frankdestefanoauthor.com. I'm on social media at frank.destefano on Instagram. Facebook is Frank DeStefano. I think TikTok is Frank DeStefano Author. I think, as you could tell, I don't use that too often, but I'll be at EternalCon this weekend promoting the Dark Legend of the Foreigner book series, book 1, 2, and 3, and the Cody Cobb file that I have, and I'll be there talking about writing, talking about ancient Japanese warriors that got frozen 400 years in feudal Japan, wakes up in modern day New York City. Where else would he wake up? I mean, he wouldn't wake up in like Utah or Illinois. I mean, we have Marshmallow Mans that walk down, but come check out these books, the series 3 for $50, with the first 3 Dark Legends. And then if you're interested in this, in more of a suspense thriller with the Cody Cobb file, that'll be available as well. Talk to me about how I got into writing and all this great stuff, and Dark Legend is not ceasing anytime soon, but it's also finding time to do the writing as well. But I mean, I'm sure that's all of our problems trying to fit in family and trying to get all this
Oh my
stuff.
God.
Yeah, but come and I have T-shirts, I have book bags, I have a bunch of all some good stuff that if you check it out, you'll get it with it. So come check out FrankDeStefanoAuthor.com, and I'll be at EternalCon signing books and posters and all that good fun stuff.
Nice.
And Frank, you're going to be making a special announcement at EternalCon, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Ooh. See, tease, folks, tease. A little leg, take it back. and Francis, one more time, where can they find you?
You can read my newest comics on Comics Kingdom. Just search for Suburban Fairy Tales. You can also read me on Instagram at Suburban Fairy Tales. But preferably go to Comics Kingdom because that helps me out more.
Okay.
I gotta say, yeah, folks, go to Comics Kingdom, check it out, get a subscription. He does some funny stuff, and they get it there before you put it on Instagram. A long time before, right?
Yeah, it's a month ahead, and like I said, I'm going to be working on Sunday edition strips, and those are going to be exclusive on Comics Kingdom. Those won't be on social media. So, look,
that's a nice tease.
Yeah, it's $3 a month to subscribe to Comics Kingdom, and not only do you get my comic, but you get access to all the other King Features titles. Dennis the Menace, Zitz, Hagar the Horrible,
nice.
Beetle Bale. You get everything, and you get the archives, like years and years worth. So it's $3 a month. It's it's less than a cup of coffee, right?
That's a good deal, yeah, for sure.
That's really good. It's really good.
That's why you guys should go do it. Go, folks, go do it. Go do it right now. And while you're doing that, Francis, where can they find you on all the sites?
So that my Instagram is at Suburban Fairy Tales. I'm on Blue Sky, which we were talking about before. I think I'm at Suburban Fairy Tales on Blue Sky. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's at Suburban Fairy Tales. I'm on X/Twitter at Francis Bonnet, and Facebook is at Suburban Fairy Tales.
You have it, folks. And I know exactly what you're talking about, Francis, because I am on Vocal. And if everybody that reads my stuff gets me paid. So go read my stuff on Vocal, especially if you guys want to learn more about writing or you want to see what the Rouster is writing, because I put all that stuff on Vocal, or a lot of that stuff on Vocal, so you guys can go check it out. Right now, I'm working on my writer's series. This one is, but Ralph, I need more on character creation. Well, then let's get our roll on, because this one talks a little bit about how D&D has helped me become the writer I am today.
Oh, nice.
And just a little bit of what you guys might want to know. Part 2 will be how Vampire the Masquerade continued that growth of writing process that happened from what D&D started.
So cool.
Vampire the Masquerade, fantastic.
I have a couple of books. I just read the books just to read them.
Exactly.
Great role playing.
Creative process from Vampire, because you're in Vampire is more about you're playing a monster, a beast.
Right.
You're not. And you're trying to figure out how to keep your humanity as you're becoming this monster.
Yeah, for sure. It's great concept.
And that made my writing even more interesting, because you have to craft the character in that direction. You have to make it so
makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, it's more of a flawed character. So, folks, there you have it. Go check it out. Yeah, every time you read something on Vocal of mine, I get paid for it. So, go read it.
Help them get paid.
Exactly. Help me. It's what we're always trying to do here is get some money, because we have projects. I have Hugbert to fund, folks. If you want Hugbert the comic book, then go help me out.
There you go.
Because the more I make Hugbert, the more I do the Kickstarter, the more I do all that stuff, the more I realize that you people are crazy when you're making all these books and comics and stuff, because I don't know how you do it. It's just amazing, and you guys are amazing people for doing what you do. I don't, because I'm telling you, the more I try to get Hugbert out there, the more money I have to put into it, the more, dude, I don't see how comics get done. And it's easier now than it was when I tried to do it when I was younger in the 90s.
For sure.
When you were trying to make comics in the 90s, it was way more money.
Yeah, listen, shoot the dice. That's what you could do, man. But definitely more resources these days now that helps out people starting out. There's like
Exactly.
a lot more resources and a lot more people willing to help. I feel like, say,
Yeah.
when the comic books come with me, I'll show you, that kind of thing.
I gotta say there was a lot more gatekeeping in the 90s because
Yeah, 100%.
it was bad enough that you have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm not talking about the thousands of dollars like you have to pay now, but back in the 90s, just for a run, I think it was $10K.
Easily, for sure.
And that's 90s money.
That's
Exactly.
90s money, yeah. $10K in 90s money. Do you know what I could have done with $10,000 in the 90s?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude. Oh. So, folks, this weekend, Eternal Con, we will be there. All these faces will be there at Eternal Con. Go check out the panels. Go hang out with Francis. Go say hi to Frank. Catch the professor walking around. You see me walking around, I might put you in the trailer. Go get some D&D stuff from It's Getting Dicey. Go check out our friend Chuck Suffle. He will be there with his new book. So go check that out as well. Probably said his last name right. Wrong. That's why I don't say names, folks.
Yeah.
That's why I let everybody introduce themselves. And with that, folks, I'll do what I always do here on the Written Writ. I'll press the button, and where it stops, nobody